another Bolts analysis. Well, I'm your host Chris, as we talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning and the rest of the NHL, and we're not talking about Tampa. Hey, it's the Pacific Division. This is what we're going to do. Obviously, NHL season suspended, and we don't know what the heck. Don't pretend like you know what's going to happen. Don't pretend you're like, oh yes, it's definitely going to be 3 weeks. Oh, they're definitely cancel. They're definitely going. You don't know. We don't know. So let us just assume for now that this is where we are. Let's assume if we end the season now, how do we grade all the different teams? And I'm going to go with the Pacific, because I feel like I don't talk about the Pacific a lot. If I have a favourite team from the Pacific, you might have guessed, it's the Vancouver Canucks. I'm not sure why, but I like logos like this. I feel like the Canucks are stylish. I also feel like, you know, if I had to pick one of the Oilers or the Flames, I'd have to hate the other team, and I don't really hate either the Oilers or the Flames, so I guess that makes me sort of go with Canucks, really. I'm not a huge fan of any of the Californian teams that are out. Vegas kind of, you know, would feel a bit like bandwagon hopping, so they're out. And the Yotes, I'm just always confused by. It's like it's a team in the desert that plays ice hockey. Okay. I mean, Vegas does it too, so I like Vancouver. I like, you know, seems like a fun place. I'd love to go someday. I like the logo. I like the Sedin brothers. Yeah, there's a lot to like. But let us grade. Now I've got my grading sheets. We're going to go through. And we are going to grade all the teams as they currently are. So, starting with Vegas, I am going to give Vegas an A. Because they are the top, and they've taken full advantage of the fact that San Jose have fallen away, that Calgary have fallen away a little bit. I'm not sure I agree with the firing of Gallant, but hey, it doesn't seem to have backfired. Tabour's come in, they have been pretty strong. From a Tampa Bay Lightning perspective, they've been probably the most difficult Pacific team we've played this year. Home and away. Arizona did give us a bit of a licking on the road, but at home I still don't know how we beat Vegas, and we definitely didn't beat Vegas at their barn. So yeah, pretty strong. And if I was going to say, which Pacific team has the best chance of actually going a deep run and making the Stanley Cup final for real, then I feel I'd have to go with Vegas. Going down to the Edmonton Oilers, I'm also going to give the Edmonton Oilers an A. I think this has been a very good season. I think like they've really kicked on. They started to show that they're a little bit. There's more to them than McDavid and Draisaitl. There definitely is now. There's players on that team that I'm like, hey, Yamamoto, keep an eye out. Nugent Hopkins, looking good. Mike Smith can stand on his head when he wants to. Koskinen seems to be improving. There's still the issue of defense, but hey, I feel like every team at the moment, like the majority of teams, would always look at their defence and go, might need to tighten up a little bit. It's a high-scoring sport, so I'm not going to give the Oilers too much flack for that. I feel like they could be a team that makes the second round, but would probably go out to Vegas. That I just feel like that's the next step for them. Can the Oilers, A, make the playoffs? I think they would this year if we had them. And can they then go on a deep run? Yes, maybe, but you feel like one of Vegas or St. Louis would probably do for them in the end. The Flames, we are dropping. Flames, just not going to be good. It's a D. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm giving the Calgary Flames a D. And I feel like this kind of carries on from their playoff run last year, but the last, I would say, 12 months for the Calgary Flames have been very disappointing for me. Not awful, but they had an opportunity to do something last playoffs. They didn't, out in the first round, nearly swept by Colorado. And this year, obviously, there was lots of, you know, Bill Peters, out he goes, racism, not good, so that kind of casts a cloud. Then they kind of, new guy comes in, and they do pick up a bit, but they're just as likely to lose 8-3 to, say, I don't know, your most hated rival, the Oilers, as they are to, you know, shut out Florida and Florida win 3-0. You don't know quite what you're getting. like, they're kind of the Western equivalent of Toronto, the Flames. Like, there's potential there, there's a lot of desire there for them to go and do something they haven't done in a while, but can they do it? Will they do it? I feel like if it came to a battle of Alberta, yes, I think the Flames lead the regular season series, but I don't think they're mentally quite ready. The Rittick stick flip really didn't help in the game before the game before last against the Oilers when they won the shootout against the Oilers. I just felt like that was setting himself up for such a big fall, and then he had a big fall. 8 go. Talbot, I think, is good for the Flames. Start him more often. I think the Flames could, I might raise that to a C. But to be honest, the only reason I'm not giving them a lower grade is, as it stands, they're making the playoffs. If they didn't make the playoffs, I would give the Flames an F. F for Flames. Vancouver comes next. Gonna give them a B. Good, not great, I would say, for the Canucks. I feel like if Markstrom plays, they can do stuff. If they don't have Markstrom, it's kind of the vibe I'm getting from Vancouver. Definitely recently. Obviously, it was a tight Pacific race for a long time, and at one point Vancouver were leading and looking very good. Now they're really fighting to get in, and it's not a guarantee. That it was a guarantee for a bit that the Pacific teams would pick up the wildcards. That's not there now. That's not there. At the moment, I feel like either the Central are going to nab both wildcard spots, or only one's going to go to the Pacific. So Vancouver are kind of fighting for their lives. And of course, if they decided, controversially, to be like the teams in the playoffs are making it, Vancouver miss out by 1 point. Which is really harsh. But hey, kind of that is on them. If they didn't have the wobble, if they didn't throw away a 3-1 lead against Columbus, if they hadn't, thrown away the lead against Arizona recently, if they hadn't lost 5-1 to Anaheim, there have been some results recently. You just think, are Vancouver playoff ready? Not quite. But better. Definitely better. Hey, moving in the right direction. JT Miller, what a find for them. What a good trade that was. Eriksson, still, Pettersson, all that. Quinn Hughes, man. Quinn Hughes deserves an A. The rest of the team might not deserve an A, but hey, I'll give Quinn Hughes an A. There you go. A for Quinn Hughes. The better Hughes, as it turns out. Who's Jack? Who is that guy? I don't know. Moving on to Arizona, I think they're another D. This was a year where obviously the Sharks have fallen out of it and the Flames have struggled. The Yotes finished 4th in the Pacific last year. This was their chance. This was their moment to do something. So why don't they do something? Hey, they beat your Tampa Bay Lightning 7-3. Yeah. Every now and then the Yotes pull out a result that makes you go, damn, they could be good. But overall, they feel to me like they're quite defensive-minded. Like they wait their moment. They're not necessarily, you don't always feel like they're dominating the game, but all of a sudden, bam, bam. And it's 2-0 Arizona, you're like, rats. And sometimes they do that, but they don't do that enough. And they, as it stands, they're 5th in the Pacific. And the Central has started to push, and strong, like Nashville have come back, Winnipeg looking quite good, Minnesota pushing. So for Arizona, it wasn't enough to be bank on a wildcard spot. You had a chance with San Jose, with Calgary struggling to either get the 2nd or 3rd, you've kind of blown it. And, if they do decide to stop it, then you've missed the playoffs again. And your main goal should be to make the playoffs, so you aren't really... But I'm giving you a D. I'm giving you a D because, you haven't been terrible. Yeah, you've shown signs of promise, but you've got to be disappointed as a Yotes fan, I think, with how the season has panned out so far. On to California. The Ducks. I'm kind of going to give a C. Because, there wasn't a huge amount of expectation on the Ducks this year. No one was expecting them to make the playoffs. Last time they did make the playoffs, oh boy. Let's not bring that up for the sake of Anaheim Ducks fans. That did not go well. I feel like there's promise. I feel like if the Ducks can kind of get back to the sort of, ooh, we're gritty, ooh, we're nasty, ooh, you don't like coming into our place. At the moment, I feel like a lot of teams don't like coming into the place. The Ducks recently, they've managed to beat the Penguins, to beat the Leafs. Well, teams that are in playoffs standing says at the moment, managed to really wreck Ottawa. Just wallop. Do more of that. Like, get this style more consistent. Ducks could do something. You don't know. We don't know what's going to happen this season or next. But I feel like if the Ducks can sort of just be a bit more like, you really don't want to come to our place. Like, if you make it so that teams hate coming to you, that will serve you very well in the long standings. Let's say recent Kings, I'm going to give a C, because the recent run would tempt me to sort of put them higher a little bit, but no, let's just accept that for a long time the Kings were the worst team in the Western Conference. Let's remind ourselves of that. Yes, they made some trades. I feel like the trades are good, they've made good business, and because of that, they've taken the pressure off the expectations. They've realised they are where they are, and they're playing good hockey. Like the Ducks. They are kind of making it just like, you don't want to come into our place. You don't, because we can score now. It's not just about that we might frustrate you like Toronto. We can also put, quite a few past the Panthers. We can beat the Penguins, that sort of thing. They were starting to get it right when we came there. They gave us a game. We weren't really, that could have got away from us. I thought we were quite lucky to come out with 4-2 win. So there's that to consider. I think the Kings, see how it goes going forward. But hey, keep this going. Keep what you've got going. Try and pick it up when we come back. And lastly, last in the Pacific. Oh, I've been waiting for this one. There is no other grade I can give the San Jose Sharks. F. Yeah, this has been a fail. In fact, I kind of want to give you a U, ungradable, but I'm not quite that harsh. The Sharks were one of the last teams to play an NHL game in the current season, and it was a 6-2 loss to the Chicago Blackhawks, who are also last in the Central. It says a lot about the sort of discrepancy between the two divisions when the last team in the Central can absolutely wallop the last team in the Pacific. I've run out of fingers, what's gone wrong for the Sharks this year? Oh, I don't know, hurt or injured. You lost Pavelski. You didn't sort the goalie situation. Your defense is a nightmare. Erik Karlsson's out for the season. His contract is a nightmare. Aaron Dell, when he does play, kind of gets hung out to dry. Logan Couture got injured for a while and is a shadow of his former player. Joe Thornton's never going to win a Stanley Cup. You've lost Patrick Marleau, having got him back for a bit. I've run out of fingers. I could go on and on and on, but good gracious. When hockey comes back, where do the Sharks go? For a lot of the teams, they've been oh, is the season over? Sharks fans, it's been over for a while, hasn't it? It's been grim, it's been brutal, it's been it's a staggering fall from grace from second in the Pacific, and the best team in the Pacific when it came to the playoffs, beat one of the other Pacific teams, Vegas, beat Colorado, got to the Western Conference Final, didn't go so well against St. Louis, find me a team that it did go well for against St. Louis last year, and all the way down to the bottom of not just the Pacific, but the Western Conference. That's not a happy Shark. No baby shark do. No, dead shark do. So that's it. That's my grading. Let me know what your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think, oh no, you should have, definitely give the Sharks to you? Or hey man, stop hating on the Flames. It's not easy, okay? It's not easy. You try sort of, keeping calm when Johnny Gaudreau goes off the ice and you're not quite sure where he's gone. You keep calm about that. But that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching. This has been another Bolts Analysis. And remember, it's not a killer whale, it's an orca. There's a difference.